Barakatay Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakudash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is, in the time of universal deceit, telling the truth is considered a revolutionary act. And pretty much this is a video. Pastor Torah called me probably about an hour and a half ago or so. And he was asking me to check his channel to see if his video that he did earlier today was up. And it's not. You can see this is his channel here. The video was almost an hour and a half long. I know a lot of brothers was on there, sisters was on there. Saw the video, they took it down. He's on the road, so he wasn't able to do anything. So he told me that when I get home, because I was on the road myself, when I get home to do a video and let brothers and few sisters out there know that they took his video down. And I know he's gonna do a lesson on it, based, because he was going into a lot of information in there. He's going into the exoskeletons, a lot of different information. But one thing I noticed, it was 2 times, it was back to back. He mentioned the V word. You know about the V word. He mentioned it twice. And then he mentioned kill gates. You brothers know what I'm talking about. You can flip it around and you know what the deal is. And the so-called, pop reduction. All right, you got to say it like that, because sometimes you say certain things and they'll take it down. Now, he was bringing out a lot of information, so they took it down for that purpose. But when I heard that, I was like, oh snap! I think they might hit him for that because of that that word he used. But he said he used it before in other lessons. But I did a lesson one time and I mentioned that word under my breath. Right, and I mentioned it with the the kill gates thing and the pop reduction, say it like that, and that the thing that the presentation that he gave, and they took my video down for so-called medical misinformation. So they're not gonna tell you what it is. They're just gonna give you a bullshit. They'll tell you the area, or the time stamp of what you said, and I can't get to it. I used to be able to play the video. I can't even play the video anymore to find out what it was that I said. And on the phone, they want you to download the app, and I said, man, fuck you, I ain't downloading shit. So that's my attitude about it. So pretty much they took his video down, and that's what it is. Now, the phrase "in the time of universal deceit, telling the truth is considered a revolutionary act," it's really wrongly accredited to George Orwell in the movie 1984. He used it in there, but he's not the originator of it. But they try to trace the originator of the phrase, and they couldn't find it. But it's erroneously, connected to George Orwell in the movie 1984. But it fits perfect, because in the movie 1984, you had something called newspeak. And pretty much, if you were considered to be a person that likes to think or have your own thoughts outside of the government's thoughts, you were considered to be a thought criminal. And that's pretty much what it's coming down to. And that's where you're going to get these draconian legislations from. Now, in the book of Isaiah 29 and 17, the point is in 21, but I'm going to start at 17. It says, blessing after discipline. And that's the thing. A lot of guys out there, they want the fame. They want the prestige, they want the honor, they want the the accolades, and they want the lauding of and the cheering from the crowds. But the scriptures say before honor comes humility. Here it is, Yahushua, he hasn't got his honor yet. If anyone deserves to be lauded and praised and bowed down to and held in high regard, should it not be Yahushua? He hasn't received his yet, so how are we going to receive ours and he hasn't gotten his yet? Hebrews 2 and 8, thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet, meaning under Yahushua's feet. The Lord said, sit down on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. So everything on the planet in the heavens, under the sea, everything, every spirit ever created is under Yahweh's authority except for the Most High, which proves that the Most High and Yahweh are two separate entities. It says, but now, even at that point, 2,000 years ago, and even now, but now we see not yet all things put under him. You see? So all things are not put under him yet. He's still sitting on the right hand of the Most High, Yahweh, until the Most High said, look, you can go now. You know, it's your time. Go and claim your kingdom. And boom, at that point, that's when we'll see all things put under him. And then we can get all the praises and the cheers and the lauds and the, hey, hip, hip, hooray, and all that stuff. But for right now, we just got to keep on trudging along, man, in the trenches. All right? Because we don't see things put under Yahweh yet. So we're not going to get accolades before Yahweh. And those that do, guess what? You receive your consolation and you got your praise from men. We don't want the praise of men. We want the praise of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because the praise of men is fickle. It'll last for a little while. Then the next day or the next week or whatever. 1 week you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. The greatest thing since the invention of the wheel. The next week you're a piece of shit. You're the worst thing since Hitler. You know? So Isaiah 29:17, is it not yet a very little while? And Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. Right, because the world is going to be beautified again. Lebanon, which is known for its trees and all the beautiful fragrances, which is one of the best places on the planet you can get trees from, and anything that has to do with that, subject, is going to be beautified. That's what the Most High said. Out of all those places, I believe this is the place that he loves the most. And he said, you can burn all of Lebanon to the heathen, and that still would not be sufficient for me to kick out Israel and keep you, or take you and kick out Israel. So this bullshit replacement theology by that devil vocab and his ilk, this demonic ilk, it's not going to work, son. The brother, the elder, the young elder, Rakaya Kwam, did a video where he was cursing them out because the rat is trying to find where the GMS brothers are in London or England, and brothers ain't responding to him. So he talking about, are you scared? No, if brothers ain't scared, they just ain't going to deal with your stupid ass, your demonic ass, because all he's trying to do is just gather information, So what? To try to make us look bad. It's not, or if you say something or prove it in the scriptures and break things down, which we've done many times, and he's going to finally get it. Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm going to change my ways. No, he ain't going to get it. He's the devil. Anyways, and in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book. That's talking about the ones that were mentally or spiritually deaf, or spiritually dead. And the eyes of the blind, those that were spiritually blind, shall see out of obscurity. Right, because the world was dark at one time. Obscurity is when something is darkened. You can't see that well. So when the obscurity starts to go away, you start to see clearer. Like when you go outside and it's very bright outside, and then you go into a building or into your apartment, and all of a sudden everything is super dark and you could barely see. And then after a while your eyes start to adjust. That's what the truth does for our spiritual eyes. It makes it to adjust to the light to be able to see. A good example of that would be the movie Matrix, where Neo, when he first was taken out of that pod and he was so-called born again, he couldn't hardly see. He was all bugged out, and eventually he started to get his faculties together. His faculties was not right, but then when he started to get his faculties together, started coming to his right mind, then he was able to calm down. All right, and the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord. Wait a minute. The meek are the poor shall increase their joy in the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Why? Because they're going to find out, oh, snap, the world is really for us. Because at one time we had no hope in the world. We were out there bugged out, and just like damn, man, and this is why Jake bugs out, because they see the life that they live and that there's no hope. There's nothing there, Now, some of them escape, the rut, so to speak. There's always a or what's that called, exception to the rules. But for the most part, most jakes are just trapped in that rat race. You know, it says, and the poor, oh, wait a minute, the what? The bums. And the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel, right? Because they're going to find out, man, Yahweh Bashem El Shai is with us. That's why Yahweh Shai said, the meek shall inherit the earth. He said, let me see. He said his eyes hurt, and Morpheus said, because you never used them. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And that's just the eyes of the spirit. You know, that mental muscle starts to increase. You start getting like a little bit of a headache because that mental muscle is starting to scratch. You know, starting to build up. You know, something that you never used before is starting to stretch. You know, and Yahweh Bashem El Shai brought a thumb to the sincere, the real brothers out there. You know, and shalom to a few sisters that's still watching. And this should be the young elder Mathathiel. So it says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, right? And this is what we're waiting for. That's why when the Babylon the Great is destroyed, what did it say? Rejoice over her, you apostles and you prophets and holy apostles, or something like that. For the Most High has avenged you on her, or something like that. And the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. And this is what we're waiting for. Esau to go down, the nations to go down, and these demonic Israelites to go down. These false prophets and these demonic Israelites to go down. Then it says that make a man an offender for a word, right? So when we speak the truth, we offend. That's why you got to watch what you say. You can't say certain words, you know, because the algorithm catches it and they take your video down, so on and so forth. You got to watch and mind what you say. Meanwhile, you're supposed to have this freedom of speech, right? Allegedly. So they make a man an offender for a word, and that's why they take videos down. So like I said, the Elder Pastor's video was taken down because he was dropping a lot of hot lava in the spirit. You know, there's a lot of hot fire coming out, and these devils are mad because, you know, they don't want certain information out there. So it says they're making a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, right? Because they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. Because the world is under this spell of wanting just to do whatever they want. They hate the light, as the scriptures say. They want to continue on in that darkness. So since they want to continue on in that darkness, what is the best thing to do? Get rid of the light. Get rid of the ones that are reproving, so that we can continue comfortably in this darkness. This is why all of the prophets were what? Put to death. Why? Because they were cursing Jake out for being wicked, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught, right? And what is the thing of naught? For these gifts that they're getting, that is being devalued by the minute. You know, now I was watching the live from, you know, the GMS Chicago camp last night, and the Elder Malcolm had mentioned that Saudi Arabia dropped the dollar, the petrodollar. Now I know that they were supposed to, but I went and I started, you know, looking online to see if it was the case, but I couldn't find any information on it. You know, they're saying that they still haven't dropped it. They're in talks of dropping it, but they haven't dropped it from the information that I got. Now, if there's more information out there, I'm sure brothers will bring it out. I'm sure I'll run into it, but they haven't dropped it as of yet, from what I've gathered so far, you know, in the research that I did. And I didn't do a whole lot of research, just kind of typed in a few things to see what would come up. All right, so prophecies are rolling out, you know, on the conveyor belt of truth, and you know this thing is moving forward. That's why in the time of universal deceit, telling the truth is considered a revolutionary act. And that's why they took the Apostles' video down. It was about an hour, almost an hour and a half or so, you know, and they took it down. And I'm glad that I was able to watch it before they took it down. Oh, by the way, he said it's going to be on his Odyssey page. So for those of you that don't know, you can go here, and this is the Apostles' Odyssey page, or you could just go to odyssey.com and put Tahar Bun Lawyer, and his page will come up. Because these devils, they see how they blocking the you know, the whole, they're not giving you the whole what you call it. So you could just, you know, copy and paste this, you know, right here, and go to Odyssey. So you copy that and go to Odyssey, what is it? I don't know if it's because it's spelled a little different. Odyssey. Okay, there we go. You go to Odyssey, go to the search engine, paste it, and then hit enter, and boom, there's his page. So he says he's gonna put it on this page here. All right. Oh Lord, you know, if this was on YouTube, this whole page would have been taken down a long time ago. A burger and fries with your, you know what. All right, so you know you get it. Matter of fact, I don't know if it. Oh, it does come up. The whole thing comes up. I thought it was gonna say .com or whatever the case may be. All right, so let me just see if I could type it here. Or you could go to the Apostles page and see if it'll come up. You know, it'll come up. You know, but he's gonna put it up on this page. So with that, let me see. That was a month ago. So with that, you know, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. To the next time I say shalom. And Tawada for, you know, tuning in, and Tawada for the precepts you brothers put up. Shalom, man. And may the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai constantly guide you brothers and you few sisters that's in there. Just hang on in there. It gets tough, but it gets better. You know, eventually, you know, we're going to be on the winning side. You know, we're going to get out of the W's and get into the, get out of the L's and get in the L's and get into the W's. Shalom.